All right, I think we are recording. All right, we are. Thank you guys for coming to the webinar today. This is going to be a pretty quick webinar, but basically what we want to do in this next few minutes is I want to share with you some things that my wife and I used when we got started in Empower Network, some ideas, some concepts, if you will, and some processes that we used to create over $400,000 in personal net income in our first year with Empower Network. It's very exciting. There was nothing that I did in our first year that involved me working more than a couple hours a day. And when I actually got started, when I was where you are, I started with about 45 or 60 minutes. And then I ramped it up to about 90 minutes or 2 hours a day when I was making about $1,000 a day. We did that in our 5th month in the business. So anyway, that's, for those of you who don't know me, that's a kind of a quick snapshot of our experience here. And anyway, so in the next few minutes, I want to share with you some things that I believe, if I was getting started in the business today, this is sort of the nuts and bolts. This is the simple ABC 1, 2, 3 stuff that I would want somebody to tell me. And the beautiful thing is, it's actually all in your Empower Network training, but we try to under-promise and over-deliver here in the Extreme team in Empower Network. So I wanted to give you a personal tour through what I believe will help you get started quickly, get out of the gate fast, and get to the point where you're making a good couple $100s a day very, very quickly. And then once you're making a couple $100s a day, you're going to see how easy it is to scale that up to $500 a day, $1,000 a day, and more. So it's going to be very cool. So matter of fact, if you've got pencil and paper, I'm going to share a couple things with you today, and I'd love for you to have a written record of it after this is over with. I got a little bit of a glare on the whiteboard, but I believe you can see this. So real quickly, let me go through 5 things that I feel like are instrumental in you creating massive results here, okay? The first thing that I want you to do is visualize your goal daily. Okay? Now, why do we say this? Well, in this business, it's kind of easy for people to get started in any kind of a home business, really. And they know they want more lifestyle. They want more money. They want better results. But the problem with those things is that they're vague. It's, you guys know what I mean? It's easy for people. Matter of fact, you guys can feel free to chat in the chat box there. I can't tell. Yeah, okay. So yeah, as you're watching this, feel free to just kind of chime in. But you know, when you set a goal to do something, all of a sudden you're focused. It's like if you want to go, say if you want to go on vacation. Well, you can't just hop in the car and just drive. You got to know where you're going. And it's amazing how many people get into a home business without ever stopping to say, what is it I want my goal to be? What is it that I'm actually focused on? Am I shooting for $100 a day or $200 a day, $1,000 a day? And not just the money. My neck is stiff. I've been popping my neck all day today. And it's not just the money. It's what the money will allow you to do. So for some of you getting started here, your reason for getting started in Empower Network is because you've got things that you want to do. And you don't have 3 to 5 years to Mickey Mouse around with little teeny weeny commissions in the traditional MLM or home business plan. And you've got some things that you want to get done quickly, like in the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, and a year. So think about what that is. Is it maybe for some of you, it's getting out of a certain car into a nicer car. It may be getting out of an apartment into your dream home. It may be quitting a job. It may be bringing your spouse home from a job. But whatever it is, one of the most powerful things you can do is identify, why are you here? What is it that is driving you? Okay? Because if you don't know your why, it is a little bit like just hopping in the car and saying, hey, I'm gonna go on vacation, and you never actually decide where you're gonna go. Okay? Or the old example we use too is, it's like calling up Domino's Pizza and just saying, hey, I'm hungry. Well, if you don't tell them exactly what you want, then they don't know what to bring you, okay? And life works the same way. So the first thing is visualize your goals daily. Number 2, income producing activity. daily. Now, I'm gonna erase these real quick because I'm gonna give you some subpoints. Here's the beautiful thing about this business is there's only about 3 things, maybe 4 things that you can do to make money in Empower Network. That's just the way it is. And there's a difference though in there between activity and income producing activity, because it's real easy for people in the home business industry to get all busy. You know, they're cleaning off their desk, they're going to training calls, which we're going to get to that in a second. That's an important part. But you've got to separate what you do in your business between income producing and support stuff. And maybe a third category might just be plain old busy work. I know that, you know, surfing around on Facebook and that kind of thing, we can't count that as business time, right? So what is income producing activity daily? Well, let me give you real quickly what they are. A is blog daily. B is market your affiliate link daily. C is email something to your list daily. Okay? And then as you've got a team going, is communicate with your team. Okay? Now, we do this part here, communicate with your team. A lot of that is done for you here in the Extreme team, because we have a private Facebook group. If you're all in, which we'll explain what that means in a minute, we have a private Skype group that we meet. We also have, you know, conference calls, webinars like this one, things like that. So a lot of this communicate with your team, we're doing that for you. Okay, but as you start building a team, it's a good idea for you to kind of create your own communication lines in the middle of that. But guys, that's about it. This is the income producing activity right here. There's not a lot else to do. You know, you'll see here there's no phone prospecting on here. Okay, we don't have calling leads on here. There's no 3-way calls. There's no going down to the coffee shop and drawing circles on the back of napkins. There's none of these little milk and cookie parties in people's living rooms, right? All we're doing is basically these top 3 things every day, and then of course as you're building a team you get into this. Blog daily, get your affiliate link marketing out there daily. I'm going to show you some information about that. And send something to your email list. And you say, well, Tony, I don't have a list. You will. You're going to start building your list in the next 24 hours, and we're going to get to that after I finish these first 5 things. Okay, so that is the income producing activity. So, you know, some of the things that are not on here, you know, cleaning off your desk, that kind of thing, you know, talking shop with other people in the company, that sort of, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, or say you want, you know, building a website. You know, some people get into, you know, you want to go create your own squeeze page, your own lead capture pages, things like that. These are not bad things to do. They're just not necessarily income producing activities. In other words, if you did them and that's all you did today, would you make money? And the answer is no, you wouldn't. You know, does learning HTML, you know, doesn't make money. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. You just need to keep track of what's an income producing activity and what's not. So I'm gonna have to erase some of this. So just make sure you got this in your notes. Number 2, first thing is visualize your goals daily. Know why you're here. Number 2, income producing activity daily. And that includes blogging, marketing your affiliate link, emailing your list, and then communicating with your team. Okay? I'm gonna leave that up here for just another moment. Number 3, this is the thing, if you want to give a title to this, it would be the 5 habits of top earners. Okay? Number 3 is mastermind with leaders. Now, I'll give you guys an example. So like, this is kind of funny because a lot of people don't really think about it this way, but you know, there's probably some parents here. I'm a parent. I have 3 sons. Jessica and I have 3 boys. And of course, we all had moms and dads. But Some of us maybe. Some of us may be aliens. We're not sure. I'm pretty sure Kevin Connect may be an alien. I'm not sure. No, I'm just kidding. Kevin's my buddy. But you know, when you're kids, when you have kids, you know, as parents, we're always really concerned about who our kids spend time around. Because, why? Well, we know that who our kids spend time around is going to have an impact on their language and their behavior, right? So if your child comes home from school or comes in from the playground and he's got suddenly a new colorful word, you know, in his vocabulary, or if all of a sudden your child comes in and is just sort of belligerent and a little bit, you know, disrespectful, the first thing that a parent thinks about is, who's my child hanging out with? You know, where is this behavior coming from? So it's important, right? We know that as kids, children, who children spend their time around is vitally important. It shapes who they're going to be. And that's true when they're 6 years old. And the funny thing is, it's also true when they're 16 years old, because now they have keys to a car, right? And now all of a sudden, the same thing. You start seeing some language patterns or some behavior, things like that. Then you start thinking, okay, we need to put the brakes on some of the, who are you spending your time with? You know, same thing. So it doesn't change when you're 16, 18 years old, 21 years old. You know, now here in the United States at 21, you know, somebody can buy a beer. You know, so now all of a sudden there's a potential for maybe alcohol, and there's relationships, there's all kinds of things happening. So my point here is that we know this as parents, that who a child spends their time around when they're 6 or 16, 18, 21 is vitally important. So here's my question. At what age does that cease to be true? Not 21. It's still true at 25. It's still true at 30. It's still true at 40. It's still true at 50. Who you spend your time around when you're 60 years old, it has an impact on your language, your thoughts, how you respond to challenges and adversity. Whether you're an ambitious person, whether you've got big goals, or whether you settle for mediocrity. Bottom line is, who we spend our time around affects how we think. And how we think affects what we do. And of course, what we do affects our results. So this is why number 3 is so important. Mastermind with leaders. Because you can't be around somebody who's making $50,000 a month without something rubbing off on you. A certain way of thinking about money, a certain way of thinking about wealth, a certain way of thinking about goals, adversity, how to deal with challenges. You know, all of this stuff rubs off. You can't be around a couple that has a great marriage without starting to notice some changes in how you treat your spouse and how your spouse treats you. Spend time with great parents, and by extension, when you get home, you'll find that you treat your children in a more positive and productive way. Bottom line is, it affects every area of our life. And here at Empower Network, masterminding with leaders simply means to consciously choose to spend time with the people that are getting the results that you want. Okay? So if you want to make $50,000 a month, well, find the people in Empower Network that are making $50,000 a month and hang out with them. Now you might say, okay, Tony, well, how do I do that? You know, because I live in wherever, you know, and David Sharp lives in Tampa, Florida, you know, or hey, I'm in California and David Wood's down in Costa Rica, or hey, Kevin Connect's over in Atlanta. You know, how can I? Well, that's what this is about. These webinars are an ideal opportunity for you to hang out and start kind of picking up some of the language, picking up some of the thought processes that create wealth in the home business industry, and basically create a certain level of excellence in lifestyle in general. So opportunities for mastermind include the team site. We have a team training site that the website address will be somewhere on this page if you don't have it. We have a private Facebook group where you can hang out and interact with people that are making tons of money. And then we have webinars like this one. Every Monday night we have the Empower Hour. Go ahead and pencil that in on your schedule right now. It's at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Monday. We've never missed one. 9 9 times out of 10, it's a conference call, but every once in a while we do a video event, and it's actually an opportunity for you to come to your computer and attend a live stream, kind of like what we're doing here. But every Monday night, that's an opportunity for you to look over the shoulders of people that are making tons of money in this business and find out what you can pick up from them. And then events. We do several events throughout the year, training events, opportunities for you to come and spend a couple of days, bring your spouse, you know, stay at a great hotel, and basically just immerse yourself in this community and be around people that are getting the kind of results you want. And I'll tell you the cool thing too is that it's a really cool thing because there's no velvet ropes here. You know, when you get to these events, I mean, it's not like, oh, there's Aaron Rashkin or Kevin Connect over there, but I can't talk to them. You know, or there's David Wood and David Sharp, you know, but they're behind this velvet rope and I can't. It's none of that. No, it's just like it's just a bunch of people hanging out. And the biggest takeaway you'll get from these events is the realization that there's absolutely no difference between you and me, or you and Sophia Rashkin, or Tracy Walker, or Melissa Connect. There's no difference at all. The only difference is that some of us have made some decisions that you may not have made yet, or we may have been here longer or done it more consistently. But the old saying is true: what one man can do, another can do. What one woman can do, another can do. And that's the power of masterminding with other leaders. Hang on one second. I'm going to go grab a bottle of water. I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay, so I trust you've got this. I'm going to erase this off. We got 2 more real quickly, and then I'm going to show you guys something really cool. It's like alchemy. You know the old thing about alchemy of turning lead into gold? I'm going to show you how to just create money out of thin air. It's a beautiful thing. So number 4 is personal development. Daily. Okay? Personal development. Now, here's why this is important. Personal development is based on the idea that, and I believe it, it's 100% true. You are where you are right now because of your best thinking. That's it. Good, bad, right, or wrong, that's how life works. And the first time I heard that, it ticked me off pretty well, because I didn't exactly like how my life was going. But the bottom line is, if you look around your life, your best thinking has created that. Your life is the product of your best ideas and the execution of those ideas. So if you have $6 in your bank account right now, then that's representative of your best thinking about money. Now, the first time I heard this, I didn't really like it because it put the burden on me. Because see, I had been one of those people that used to say, well, no, my life is the way it is because of the Republicans, you know, or the Democrats, or my boss, or my negative relatives, or my evil landlady who expects me to pay this $300 rent every month on the 1st. So unreasonable, you know. So my idea was, well, my life is the way it is because it's everybody else's fault. Which you may not consciously think that, but I think to some degree we've all sort of carried a little bit of that around with us. And it's not true, because the bottom line, I think it was Jim Rohn who made the comment one time. He said, the same wind blows on us all. The difference is the set of the sailboat. You know, we all have our own sailboats and we all set our sails a certain way, but it's the same wind that blows on us all. So the idea is that, okay, if your life is the product of your best thinking and you want to have better results in life, then you just increase the quality of your thinking. How do you do that? With personal development. And personal development is nothing more than consciously and deliberately choosing to put good information in your mind. It's a little bit like what we just talked about, the people that you surround yourself with. Well, it's not just spending time with people. It's, you know, picking a book off the shelf. It's listening to some audios. It's choosing every day to put more good stuff in your head and less negative stuff. So here's what I want to challenge you to do. If you've never done it, it'll blow your mind. The first thing, the best personal development that I can recommend for you is the Inner Circle. If you don't have it, go get it. It's absolutely rocket fuel for your business. The Inner Circle, without going into a bunch of detail, the Inner Circle is basically an audio library of interviews that we've conducted with people that are making anywhere from $50,000 a month all the way up to $250,000 and $500,000 a month. And we're talking huge, huge incomes. And these are interviews, so you can actually hear the real life stories of these people and how they created those results. And what you do is you download those to your phone or your iPod or your iPhone or MP3 player, or burn them on a CD or whatever. But you take these Inner Circle audios and you listen to them every day. And what I would recommend is you pick one and listen to it every day for a week. And there's another video that I've got, I recorded a little team video, you'll see it. It explains why this is important, why it works, and you'll be blown away by the changes that it creates. So if you don't have the Inner Circle product, it is the best $100 a month that I spend on my business. And I make thousands and thousands of dollars a day in this business. And if you ask me right now, Tony, what's the best $100 you spend every month on your business? I'd tell you it's the Inner Circle. So personal development every single day. Also read great books. You know, Think and Grow Rich is a good book. There's some fantastic personal development books out there. One of them is called The Instant Millionaire by Mark Fisher, which is one that I've recommended a lot over the years. But there's plenty to choose from, and you know, we'll have a list of recommendations or something on this website so that you can dive into some other areas of personal development. But personal development every day. And then the last thing, and again, the heading on all this is the top 5 daily habits of top earners. Number 5 is cultivate the expectation of leadership. I learned this from my friend John Lavinia, and I think it's brilliant because it's one of the things that you just don't hear taught very much in this business or in personal development. But it's based on the idea that if you treat people as leaders, then they will step up. And if you treat people if you treat people like they need their hands held and they need to be spoon-fed, then basically that's what people basically live up to whatever expectation, or live down to whatever expectation you put out there. So why is it important to cultivate the expectation of leadership? It's because of what we've been talking about, how basically your life is going to be in alignment with the way you think. So here's the thing. So like if you tell me that you want to make $50,000 a month, I'm going to trust you on that. I'm going to believe you. And unless you give me some reason to think you're lying, you know, if you tell me you want to make $50,000 a month, I'm going to assume you're telling me the truth. So I'm going to treat you like somebody who is serious about making $50,000 a month. And I'm going to expect you to do the things that $50,000 a month earners do, or at least the things that lead up to that. And I'll give you an example. So, you know, I don't have a lot of phone conversations with people, prospects, people who aren't in the business. I don't call people. I haven't made a phone call since I've been with Empower. But I was having a very light email exchange with somebody, and it was evident from their language that they were like, yeah, I want to make $20,000 a month, but then when it came time for them to actually step up and take some action, oh, I don't know, this and all of a sudden all the excuses come out, right? And so here's the thing. If I buy that guy's excuses, all I've done is give him permission to buy them too. And it's not my place to tell people what they should or shouldn't do. But when I'm in that situation, I realize that the most powerful thing that I can do for that person is to actually be a stand for him, to take a stand for his ability to live the life he wants to live. See, everybody around that guy gives him permission to play small. You know, he runs late on everything and people give him permission to run late. And he doesn't dream big, and the people around him, they're all in mediocre lifestyles too, so they give him permission to live a mediocre lifestyle. You know, so all of a sudden, he's in a dialogue with me, and it's not about getting him to do something. It's not about getting him to buy something or getting him to join. I view that my role today is to be the one guy in his life that's just not going to buy his BS. My role is to be the one guy in his life that's going to say, hey, look, if you want to make $20,000 a month, then you can do that here. But you're going to have to stop settling for these excuses, and you're going to have to stop buying your own BS, and you're going to have to step up and get in the driver's seat of your own life and start realizing that how you think and what you do matters. We all have the same 24 hours. It's what we do with the 24 hours that makes a difference. So if you want the results I've got, then do what I do. And quit Mickey Mousing around and letting all these things distract you and get your eye off your goal. You're a giant drowning in 3 inches of water. Stand up. And that's what this is about. Cultivating the expectation of leadership. See, to me, Empower Network, the dirty little secret of Empower Network, I mean, I know you're new and you probably are kind of wondering, some of you could still be wondering, like, what's the catch? I'll tell you the catch. We're real open about it. Empower Network is a leadership factory disguised as a business opportunity. This is a place for people to come here and release their inner badass, as we call it. You'll hear that phrase a lot. Delete the inner wussy. This is a place where everybody comes here for the money. I came here for the money. You came here for the money. And the money's awesome. You won't believe what it's like when you're seeing $2,000 deposits dropping in your bank account every day. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. But here's the thing. The mindset shifts, the ability to make powerful decisions, the ability to take action on decisions you've made, when you learn how to do that in your financial life, you'll find out that it's the same skill set that's required for you to get amazing results in physical fitness, or in relationships, or in parenting, or any other area of life. So all we're doing is we're providing you with a skill set and an environment of support where you can actually become the most powerful version of yourself possible. And then we give you this arena to play in. And we use money as the thing that we play with because money's easy to count. It's easy to know if you're winning or losing because you just count the money, right? So we give you this arena to play in. The target is make a bunch of money, and here's the skills to do it. And you go after it. And all of a sudden you're somebody that's making $20,000 a month or $20,000 a week, right? And all of a sudden you realize, you know what? I'm different in all the areas of my life. And that's what this is really about, is we cultivate an expectation of leadership. If you tell me you want to make $500,000 a year, I'm going to treat you like somebody that really does want to make $500,000 a year. And we're going to expect you to do the things that a serious person with that goal would actually do. Okay, makes sense? All right, so, and here's the thing, I've already erased off the other 3, but one of the things that you'll find about all 5 of these things is they're daily. Every one of these things is daily. So take the time to do personal development every day. Take the time to make sure you're sharpening your saw. You're spending time around people that are getting the results that you want. Take the time. Buy great magazines that have pictures of the places you want to travel or the things you want to buy. Have some goals. You know, that old thing works, you know, where you cut pictures out of magazines and you post them around. It's just a great way to keep your mind in the right place. Okay? All right, let's get to some nuts and bolts real quick, because I know that that's always a popular part of these webinars. So, we're going to turn the page, all right? I'm going to get a drink of water. That's going to reset. Okay, so what you've got so far on your notes are the 5 habits of top earners. And if that's already been valuable to you, type it in the little chat box there. Okay? Because I like it when you guys talk to me in the chat box. All right, so let's do this real quick. Let me show you how this marketing machine is set up. You're going to love this. This will probably be a breath of fresh air to some of you, because if you've ever been in a home business before, if you're like a lot of people, there's this sort of foggy haze around what's the map look like? How do I actually do this business? What does it look like? Show me the actual nuts and bolts. You know, analytical people ask for that a lot of times. What's the nuts and bolts, Tony? Give me the ABC 1, 2, 3, right? So if you're not analytical, I promise this will still be of value to you, but hang with me because I'm gonna draw a couple of little sketches, doodles on the board here. All right, so here's what we have in Empower Network. We have, and if there's a glare on the board, I apologize. I'm going to draw out a couple of, these are websites. Okay, let me look on my monitor here real quick. Okay, if you need to blow this up on your screen, I think you can still see it. All right, so we have a couple of things here. The first thing is our squeeze page. Okay, this is your affiliate link that you're going to be advertising. This is the affiliate link. This is what you're going to market and advertise as your affiliate link. If you don't yet have your affiliate links, you should have had instructions on this when you got started. Make sure when you go into your Empower Network members area, there's a button that says My E-Wallet. Okay, in order to be an affiliate, you have to go through that and set up your e-wallet. E-wallet is how you get paid, and setting that up is what gives you all your affiliate links. Okay, your affiliate links are located under the My Tools section, and it's labeled lead capture pages. This is a squeeze page and a lead capture page are the same thing. Okay, so we have a squeeze page. We actually have about 9 or 10. There's a bunch of different squeeze pages in there, but let's just say you've got this one here, and then we've got our sales page. Okay, and you've seen this because this is the exact same process that you came through. All right, and let's say, okay, so the squeeze page is let's say it's a headline and some bullet points of text, and then there's a little space where the prospect is going to put in their email and a little button that says submit. Okay, and then of course after they put in their email address, 2 things happen. First thing is they go to the sales page, which is where they're going to watch the video of David. And then after there's a delay on the button, they watch the video for about 20 something minutes, and then there's going to be a buy button, and they have an opportunity to get started in Empower Network and buy the $25 package. Okay, now how do we get these people? Well, we don't buy leads or do anything like that. Did you hear my dog? I don't know if you can hear my dog or not. He's got the weirdest sounding, yawny kind of, he sounds like a dinosaur or something. Anyway, and what's funny is my dog is like this long and about this tall. He's a weenie dog, a dachshund. All right, so we have traffic. Okay, you know, there's all kinds of traffic. There's all kinds of ways to get traffic. Is people who are coming to your website. I'll give you an example. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and just share this with you, because one of the best places that I use, if you go to buycpctraffic.com, I mean, that's just an example, but this is like one of the places where I get traffic, buycpctraffic.com, and it literally is push button simple. You basically just tell these guys have traffic from all kinds of ads, all kinds of marketing, and it's all about the home business industry. So you can literally go to these guys and say, you know what, I want 100 people to come to my website today, or I want 1,000 people to come to my website today, or whatever, and you pay, you buy a package, like you say, I want 100 people. I'll tell you another great way to get leads, or traffic rather, is called solo ads. A solo ad is where somebody has a mailing list, and you basically say to them, hey, will you send my offer to your list? And they usually charge about 30 cents a click. So if you want 100 people to come to your website, it costs you about 30 bucks. Okay? So there's all kinds, and we have training on all this stuff. Okay? So let's just let's do some really basic arithmetic here. I think you'll like this. So let's start small, okay? Because I know that some people are on a shoestring budget, And you can scale this up, which I think this is the important thing that a lot of people miss. Like, some people ask me, Tony, what do you spend on marketing? Well, what I spend on marketing is irrelevant, you know, because I'm making thousands of dollars a day. So obviously I spend more on marketing than somebody who's just getting started. But my point is, I didn't start there. You know, I didn't start buying big packages of traffic. I think the first ad I ever ran was like $14.95. And I think I got like 80 leads out of it. And some of those people, and I'm gonna show you in a minute how the numbers work, some of those people bought a lot of product. And I think the first $15 ad I ran, I made like 600 bucks, okay? Now I'm not saying that's gonna be your experience, but I'm gonna show you how this works. That way you have a good understanding of how the traffic converts into money, okay? Because basically, here's what we're after. Let me just draw a secondary little doodle here. You got a funnel, you just put traffic in the top, and money comes out the bottom, okay? That's the target right here. That's what you're after. Traffic goes in the top, money comes out the bottom, okay? So, to that end, let's pour some traffic in our funnel here. So, let's say we have 100 visitors, can't spell, 100 visitors, and let's say it costs us $30, okay? So the 100 visitors come to our lead capture page, and generally speaking, when it's good traffic, I find that the squeeze page generally converts at anywhere from 25 to 40%. I have had over 40%, but let's just be conservative and use smaller numbers today. Let's just say that 25% of the people that come to the squeeze page are going to become a lead, okay? So that means if you have 100 visitors, that means you have 25 leads, okay? Now when they fill out the squeeze page, two things happen. They're going to go to the sales page, and you're also going to add 25 people to your list, okay? Now having a list is powerful, because when you have a list, you can do all kinds of things. These are people that have subscribed to you, and we use a service called Aweber, which I'm sure you probably have already heard about this, okay? Aweber is the service that we use. It collects the leads, and it sends out automated follow-up letters, and there's more information on that in the team training site. Show you how to set it up, the whole thing, okay? So that's going to happen. I'm going to erase this off because we're going to focus more on what's happening up here right now. So 100 people come to the website. It costs you 30 bucks for the traffic. Of the 100, 25 people go to the sales page. And of the people that go to the sales page, let's just say that 10% buy. Okay? Now it may be, when I say 10%, you may have 10% buy right away. You may have 3% that buy right away and another 7% that buy over the next day or two, okay, because they're getting those automated follow-up letters. But generally speaking, 10% is a really good number, and mine's actually been higher than that lately, but 10% is not a bad number. So we'll round it up though. Let's say 100 people, 25 leads, 10% buy, that's 3 sales. 3 sales times $25 is 75 bucks. Let me look and see if you can see that. There's a little bit of a glare, but trust me when I say 3 times 25 is 75, okay? So here's what's happened. Take a look at this. This is alchemy. This is like turning lead into gold. You've taken $30 worth of traffic and you've pushed it through a process, and now you have $75. And I even told you where to get the traffic. So here's what I love about this. Before internet marketing, this process used to be done by people sitting like drawing circles on the back of a napkin in the coffee shop. Have you done that? If you've done that, type that in the chat. If you've ever done that, where like you got to go to somebody's house and do a little milk and cookie party and try to get them in, or you go and you do like a 90-minute presentation at somebody's kitchen table on why they need to buy legal insurance, and then hope you make a sale at the end of it. I've done that. I've done that deal where you drive 90 minutes to Lenoir, North Carolina to do a hotel meeting for 8 people, hoping that one of the 8 will sign up. and you know, driving there and back, and the time of the meeting, and of course the gas, and the eating out after the meeting, one thing and another. It's like you drive, you know, you spend $100 and nobody signed up, or one person signed up and you made, you know, $8. It was a nightmare. Well, see, you don't have to do any of that, because all of that process is delegated to this internet marketing process. And it's beautiful because you've got a squeeze page that works, you've got a sales page that works. You don't have to come up with either one of these. They're provided for you. Okay? Now, let's talk about scalability, because this is where things get exciting. Scalability is where you can start at any level and you use your wins to create more wins. All right, so we have $75. Let's say now, instead of, we just got 100 visitors for $30. Let's say now we want 500 visitors. Okay, and let's say it costs us $150 to do it. Okay, so maybe you took your profits and you added a little bit with it or whatever. But let's say you got 500 people that come to your squeeze page. Well, what do we say, 25%? So we know that you're going to add 125 people to your list. So now you got an extra 125 people that you can email to every day. 125 people have gone to the sales page, and we know that 10% of them are going to buy. So that means out of 125 people, you got 12 people here. It's probably 13. But let's just keep the math simple for me because I don't have a calculator handy. 12 sales times 25%, that's $300, right? That's $300, okay? Now, keep in mind, and I probably should have mentioned this a moment ago, we're talking about basic membership sales. I'm going to show you in just a moment how this number is actually way, way higher. It's actually going to be closer to $1,000, okay? But I'm only talking about the initial $25 sale, okay? So this is how you scale. This is how you do this. So you can run these numbers any way you want to. Matter of fact, let's look at this. When you got money coming in, about this is residual, so it's coming in every month. But let's say you decide, you know what, I want 1,000 people come to my website, and I'm willing to spend $300 for the traffic. Okay, well, if you got 1,000 people come to the website, that's 250 leads. That's 25 sales. And you know what? I'm going to have to whip out the old calculator. And some of you are laughing at me because you have quick math skills and I don't. I used to. So 25 sales times $25. You just added a raise. You just made yourself $625 a month. Okay? That's over $6,000 a year that you've added to your income with a one-time ad campaign that only cost you $300. And even if it wasn't residual, I mean, who would not put $300 down if they knew they were going to pick up $625, right? So this is how the machine works. Now here's the beautiful thing. Again, the squeeze page is done for you. The sales page is done for you. The whole machine just runs. All you have to do is pour traffic in the top and money comes out the bottom, okay? So that's the business. Now, you know, we have there's other things you can do. For instance, you can increase this number. Okay, this 10% number, I say 10% are going to buy. Well, mine's actually a little higher than that right now because what I've done is I've started doing some email marketing down here, which I've always been doing email marketing, but as you build your list, as these people as they go to the sales page, they're also coming down to the list. And this list grows and grows and grows. Every time you generate a lead and push people through the funnel, you're also adding these people's email addresses to your list, and you're emailing that list every day. Look back on your notes. When we talked about doing income producing activity daily, one of the things you're doing is you're emailing your list every single day. So you're emailing them the pre-written autoresponders that we provide. You could be sending them a video. You could shoot a video on your phone. An iPhone is great. You can shoot a video with your phone Hey, here's why. Hey, thanks for opening this video. I just want to give you a quick message, tell you why I joined Empower Network and what I'm getting out of it. You know, you could be like, one guy joined our team a while back. I mean, he said he hoped he could make $500 his first week. He made $1,622 his first week. See, that's a great thing. He could just shoot a quick video on his iPhone or smartphone or video camera, webcam, whatever, put it up on YouTube and email that link out to his list. And a bunch of things happen. People see the video, they see the social proof, they see the screenshot of the money that he earned, and all of a sudden, maybe this 10% goes up. You know, so there's all kinds of things you can do in this area that will increase the lead to sale conversion. And we've got some training on that in our team site. There's one webinar that I did a while back called Email Marketing 101. It's got tons of nuts and bolts information on how to do that kind of marketing so that you convert more of your leads into sales. All right, one more thing I want to show you real quickly, and I think we'll be pretty complete because I don't want to wear you out, but hopefully this is of value. And this is, guys, this is the stuff that had me making a couple $100 a day in my first, like 5 weeks in the business. We were making, matter of fact, let me share the story with you. So I got started in November of 2011. And I'll make a confession to you. I didn't come here for the money. I came here because I was in this other MLM program, and I thought, I want to be able to learn the market like David Wood. So let me join Empower Network, and I'll learn those marketing skills, and I'll use this funnel to generate some leads. And then I'm gonna flip those leads over into my other deal, right? Well, I never got around to doing that because we'd been here for like 4 or 5 weeks, and Jessica, my wife's name's Jessica, Jessica was looking at the bank account, and she's like, what are all these deposits that are coming in? And I said, well, that's that thing. That's that Empower Network, the thing that David Wood started. And she's like, you gotta be kidding me. Because if you looked at the bank account, here's what it looked like. It's like I'd have here was $100 day, and then I'd have a 175, and then I'd have a 50, and then I'd have 100, and then I'd have a 75, and then I'd have like a 225, and then I'd have a 150. Anyway, if you looked at the bank account, it was like this, but the average, the average was in there like $200 a day. This is daily, which, that's $6,000 a month. So we literally, that first December, we literally paid for all of our Christmas gifts with Empower Network money. And then my mom passed away in January of 2012, and we went to North Carolina and did the funeral and the whole thing of shutting down the apartment and taking care of all the stuff that has to be taken care of. And I didn't do anything in terms of income producing activity. I didn't blog. Here's what I did. I left my ads running, so I still had traffic coming in, right? I still had traffic coming in the funnel. And maybe twice a week, I would take whatever email that David Wood had just sent out to his list, because he sends it to us too. I took whatever email that David Wood had sent out and just changed my link in the email, and I just turned around and sent it to my list. And I would do that maybe twice a week. I was literally working about 30, maybe 60 seconds, or 30 minutes a week, maybe. It took me maybe 10 minutes a day, to do that. Anyway, in February of 2012, when I kind of got my head back in the game, I'm like, good Lord, look, we're making like $500 a day. Again, some days are like $375, some days are like $725 or $745, whatever. But the average was around $500 a day. That's $15,000 a month on autopilot. And I'm still have not picked up the phone to call a single prospect. And I was thinking, good Lord, if I were to actually pay attention to this thing, this is a multiple this is a 7-figure income if I were to actually pay attention to it. So I made the decision at that point. I wasn't really having fun in my other deal anyway, because it was, you know, beating the phone 6 hours a day, and I wasn't making that much money. So I decided I'm just going to do this. And David Wood did a webinar in February of 2012 on how to make $1,000 a day in Empower Network. And you can go to that webinar. He still does it. You can go to coaching.empowernetwork.com and schedule a seat in his next webinar on how to make $1,000 a day, and it'll blow your mind. So when he scheduled to do this webinar, I said, you know what? Whatever he says to do in this webinar, I'm just going to go do that. And we made $34,000 in March of 2012. Over $1,000 a day on average. In April, we made $45,000. I don't remember what we did in June. I know in July we did something like 51. In August we did, I want to say it was like 61 or 62. In September was like 50 something again. In October, it was six-figure month. It went crazy. We had done, I'm wanting to say the first 2 weeks of October, we had already done $70,000 in the first 15 days of the month. It was absolutely insane. And that's the way the income grows. So here's the thing. At no point did I ever pick up the phone and call prospects. At no point did I do any of these little milk and cookie parties or anything like that. I focused on getting 2 basic members a day. Now that's what I want to close with, because if you get this, if I'm able to communicate this properly, you're not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Okay? Because let me show you how this works. You know, everything I just drew a moment ago, I was telling you, you know, the traffic goes into the squeeze, goes into the sales page, and then here's these basic memberships, right? Well, we've got several different products. And let me show you in my own business, this is my personal numbers, okay? We have the basic, we have the inner circle, we have the Costa Rica intensive, can't spell. We have, the fourth product is called the $15,000 a month formula. We just kind of abbreviate it as the 15K formula. And then we have the Masters program. Okay? So check this out. And if you've already been through this, this won't take me a second, but I want to make sure that I cover this because I know there's some of you guys that may not be fully aware of this. This is $25 and it's monthly. Okay? The inner circle is $100 and it's monthly. Okay? So let me draw a little dashed line right here. Okay? Because this is where you build your residual income. Now here's what I want to show you. Let me go ahead and finish putting the price tags on here. The Costa Rica is $500 one time. Okay? Costa Rica Intensive is a one-time purchase, but you're qualified for it for life. So you're qualified to earn $500 commissions over and over and over and over and over and over and over, even though you only bought it one time. That's awesome. Okay? The 15K formula is also a one-time purchase. It's $1,000. Big nuts and bolts stuff. You want to know how to drive traffic? You want to know about the media buys, the solo ads. You want to know the nuts and bolts of how. If you go through the 15K formula, you will never have another question about how to get leads. It is absolutely amazing. It's a doctor's degree. It's amazing in marketing. And then the Masters program is $3,500 and it pays a $3,000 commission. Okay, this thing is unbelievable. I won't go into it right now, but suffice it to say, this right here is remarkable. This is about, we show you in this program, we filmed it over the course of 5 days in Costa Rica. It was the coolest thing too. It's kind of like what we're doing here, because it wasn't people walking at the front of the room and saying, I'm going to teach you this. All of a sudden, somebody would say something at the front of the room. It was all top earners there. I mean, the whole front row was millions of dollars a month of income sitting on the front row. And somebody at the front would say something, and then somebody on the front row would pick up a microphone and chime in. And all of a sudden, it was like magic. All of a sudden, the whole event shifted, and this 5-day event became like an ongoing conversation. And what came out of it was this 5-step process on the 5 seasons of your business, the 5 stages of your business, how to identify which one you're in, and then how to scale up to each one. So we showed people how to get from 0 to 10,000 a month. And by the end of the event, we were showing people how to get, you know, from $250,000 a month up to $1 million a month and more. And it's the coolest thing. You got to see it. The Master's Program. All right, so here is how it works in my business. And I'm being totally candid with you. The basics, 50% of the people that buy the basic membership are going to buy the Inner Circle. Okay? So let me just kind of put some hypotheticals over here. And it goes without saying, you know, we have a income disclosure that we're very, very proud of. You know, so what I'm about to draw for you, this is not a guarantee that you're going to do this. I don't know you. You know, I don't know if you're lazy. I don't know if you're coachable and trainable. I don't know if you're a go-getter. I don't know your situation or anything. The results you get are obviously going to be based on how you work your business. But this is mine. I know that let's say if I go out this month or this week or whatever time period, time doesn't matter. Let's just say that you have 20 basics. Okay? Well, if you have 20 basics, that's $500, right? That's $500. Now I'm not counting the pass ups. We have a pass up pay plan and all that stuff. I'm not counting any of that yet. So you got $500, and that's monthly. Okay? That's a monthly figure. So can I just pause real quick and point something out? Because we talk a lot about big money, people making thousands of dollars a day, and that's real. We have that. But I'll tell you what, if you can show somebody how to make an extra $500 a month, you've probably changed their life. Because a lot of times people say stuff like, you know, well, I mean, $25 commission, that's not a lot of money. You know, that's not even enough to buy a decent steak. You know, and maybe you're right. But I know for a lot of people, if you can show them how to make $500 a month with just 20 customers, that's a car payment for a lot of people. You know, that's the ability to breathe a little easier on their mortgage. Okay, now check this out though. But just by being at the Inner Circle level, we know that 10% of those people are also going to purchase the Inner Circle, and that is an additional $1,000 a month. Okay, now here's what's beautiful. There's no extra work. Now pay attention. There's no extra work done to create this extra $1,000. You see that? You don't have to go drive more traffic. You don't have to go run more ads. You don't have to put more people through the system. You don't have to build on your, no, this is the same 20 customers. 20 customers that produce this basic income of $500 a month. Half of them are going to purchase the Inner Circle. That's going to happen. It's just a question of who they're going to pay. Okay? Because if you're not qualified to earn the Inner Circle commissions, then this money is going to roll up to the next Inner Circle member above you. So like if your sponsor is an Inner Circle member and you're not, well, you would make this money, but this money rolls up. That's why it's important to be all in. That's why it's important to make sure you are positioned to pick up all the commissions that are available to you. So check this out now. With no extra work, this is an $18,000 a year income, and there's only 20 customers. That's pretty awesome. Okay, check it out though. Of the 10 people that buy the Inner Circle, we know that 5 of them are going to purchase the Costa Rica Intensive, and at $500 each, that's $2,500. Now that's not monthly because these people are making a one-time purchase. So it's like an immediate income to you, but it doesn't come in every month. But still, at this point, you've got $4,000 in hand, and $1,500 of it is coming in from now on every month. Pretty cool. Out of the 5 people that buy the 15K formula, 2 of them are going to buy, out of the 5 that buy the Costa Rica, 2 buy the 15K formula, and that gives you $2,000 in additional immediate income. And then one of these people will purchase the master's program. Now, that's a general guideline. Your numbers may shake out differently, but the way mine are, if you look at my numbers across the board, it's like half, half, and half. Okay? So you got basically half your basics go to Inner Circle, half go to Costa Rica, half go to the 15K formula. Okay? This bottom number is not quite 50%. Okay? So in reality, you may have to have 25 or 30 basics to pick up a master's program. Okay? But take a look at this, because this is the point. If you get this, it's going to blow. You won't sleep tonight if you get this, because check it out. Let's say you're all in, meaning you own all these products and you're qualified to earn all these commissions. But let's say you bring in 20 people. Well, this is what you're going to make. I've covered that. I'm not going to repeat that part, but watch what happens. 10 of these people did not buy any of this stuff. So you have 10 people on your team working their business, but they're actually not qualified to earn any of these commissions. But here's what I can tell you. If you do what we teach you to do, you will make sales. I can't guarantee a certain amount of income, but just between you and I, and this is the opinion of Tony Rush. This is not, don't take this as written in stone or any kind of guarantee. I'm just saying, if you do what we teach you to do, you're going to make it. You will see results. Okay, which means the 10 people that you bring in who don't buy Inner Circle, they're going to make sales. If they work this business and do what we teach them, they will make sales. So if 10 people that you enroll, say they each enroll 5 people each, well, that's 50 people, but half of them are going to buy Inner Circle. But the 10 people that didn't get the Inner Circle can't earn Inner Circle commissions. So if 25 people out of the non-buying group, out of the non-Inner Circle group, if those guys go produce 25 Inner Circle sales, that money rolls by them and into your pocket, because you only get paid on the products that you are qualified to earn on. Okay? And the easiest way to qualify is just to buy the thing yourself. Okay? So here's the thing. You're going to make a ton of money when the people on your team step up. But even if they don't step up, if they go out and work the business, they are absolutely going to build a group. And it's awful. I'll go ahead and tell you a quick story. So let me show you. This might be a little easier to understand. When I joined the company, we didn't have these 2 products at the bottom. Okay? We had basic. Let me clean this up a little bit so it's a little easier for you to read. We had basic, Inner Circle, and Costa Rica. That's all. Now here's what happened to me. I came in at the basic level, $25 a month. And I got the little video that says, hey, do you want to make the $100 commissions as well and be part of the Inner Circle and have these great audios? And I said yes. And then I saw that they have a Costa Rica product for $500. And I didn't buy it. Now here's the thing. I'm smart. And I know this pay plan. I knew this pay plan. This is a common business model in our industry. So why would I not buy the Costa Rica? And I'll be totally honest with you. It wasn't money. I didn't buy the Costa Rica because I did not believe that people would purchase a $500 product without me having to call them up and put my arm around them and persuade them to buy it. And if you remember what I said just a minute ago, I already had this other business that I was, on the phone all the time. And also, if you remember, I didn't come to Empower Network to make money. I came, to just get this basic and Inner Circle stuff. So I did not buy the Costa Rica product. So sure enough, what happened was one weekend I came home and I had 3 emails that said, you just lost a $500 commission. Because I had been enrolling people, I just pouring traffic on the system and watching the sales come in. And the funny thing about it was I thought it would take longer than it did. And it didn't take long at all. I'd only been here for maybe a week, maybe a little over a week, 10 days maybe or something. I'd only been here for like a week or so. And I only had something like, 10 or 12 people on my team total. And all of a sudden, 3 people just like that bought the Costa Rica product, and that $500 went by me and right up into my sponsor's pocket. And man, when I came home and I saw these, you can imagine, right? Yeah, and by the way, if that sucks, type in the little chat box, yes, that sucks, because it did. To see $1,500 go screaming by me up into my sponsor's pocket because I wasn't qualified to earn. Jessica looked at me, she's like, you got a credit card in your pocket, don't you? I said, yeah. She said, well, we need to whip that out and let's go ahead and make sure we stop the bleeding. That's how I felt. I felt like somebody stabbed me. So that's how the business works. So here's what I want you to get. It doesn't actually take, like, here's where all the work is done. All the work is done at this level. And this is what I learned from David Wood when he did that webinar on how to make $1,000 a day. Focus on making 2 basic sales every day. This stuff takes care of itself. Be all in. Number 1 is be all in. Buy all the products so you're qualified to earn all the commissions, and then just focus on getting 2 basics a day. Because if you can get up to 2 basics a day, you'll be making $1,000 a day within 2 months. And you know what? That's what he told me in February. I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And the first month we made $34,000. I didn't even enroll 2 a day. I think I had something like a little over 1 person a day on average getting started. So out of the millions of people that are looking to make money on the internet, all I needed every day was just 1 to 2 people a day. And I tell you, you can't do that consistently every single day without suddenly you're making these $1,000 profits, you're making these $500 profits. That's why the guy that I mentioned a few minutes ago, it's been a little while now, he's been in the company for a while, but he got started with the goal of thinking, okay, if I can make $500 my first week, I'll be thrilled. Because in a normal MLM type pay plan, you can't make $500 a month for about a year, you know, because you're making these weeny little commissions. And but this guy understood this pay plan, so he came in at the 15K formula level. So he paid $1,000, $500, $100, and $25. He did not come in at the master's program level. So he came in qualified to earn on the first 4 products, which you can do that if you want to. Or you can come in at the first 3 or the first 2, whatever. But he came in at this level, which is basically $1,625. And he said, you know, if I can make $500 my first week, that'll be awesome. And he made $1,622 his first week. This $1,000 product used to be $997. So anyway, he basically at the end of his first week got all of his money back, and now just making money hand over fist. It's the coolest thing. So here's my point of drawing this out. You can expect that about half the people that you enroll at Basic are going to become Inner Circle in Costa Rica and on down, which means it's really easy for you to plan how much money you want to make. Okay, and you can play with the numbers, and I encourage you to do this. Get a calculator out and just kind of say, okay, if I had, you know, if I'm qualified to earn, you know, say, you know what, let's just do it this way. Some people come in at the first 2 levels. If you have 10 customers, that's $250, and that gives you 5 Inner Circles, so you're making $750 a month with 10 customers. You can't do that anywhere else, okay? Now, you know, you're also going to have 3 Costa Ricas here, and at least 1 or 2 15K formulas, okay? And then probably 1 master's program. But, I mean, even if you start there and scale up, you know, we encourage you, get all in so you don't leave this money on the table. The worst thing is to pass money up to your sponsor that you don't need to be. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Because, I mean, you came here to make the money. You deserve that money. You know, and we want to see you earn that money. Believe me, I mean, like I got a $500 pass up the other day from a guy that I enrolled who came in at the $25 level and at the $100 level. But he didn't come in at the Costa Rica. So, sure enough, he enrolled somebody who came in at the first 3 levels. He made $25 and $100, and I made $500 for doing nothing. I think I was eating tacos when it happened. And I looked down at my iPhone, you know, and I made, you know, $500. And here's the thing, you know, we all came here for the money, and it's awesome. You know, I love the fact that I made $500 while eating Mexican food. But here's the thing too, is that guy did the work. He's the one that ran the ads. You know, he poured the traffic on the funnel. It would not have taken him anything to have made a 625 day instead of a 125 day. So the only difference between somebody like me that earns all of it and somebody that just makes $25 or $100 commissions, the only difference is decision. The decision, I'm going to do it. You know, and sometimes people have to figure out where to get the money, but that's easy too. And if you want to have a conversation about that, get with your sponsor or get with me. I'll be glad to show you a foolproof way to come up with any amount of money that you want to come up with at any time, not just Empower Network, but if there's something that you want to do in your life and you think you don't have the money to do it, I can show you a process that you can use to absolutely create money. To just, anytime you need money to go do something, you can just create it. It's the coolest thing. So, you know, don't let a lack of money keep you from earning. That's the worst thing. That would be like tripping over, you know, dimes trying to get nickels. You know, so if you're going to do the work, and I promise you, if you pour the traffic on the funnel and you do what we teach you, you will make sales. And these numbers do bear out the way I've shown you. So just make sure you're positioned to catch this money, because the worst thing is for you to want to make a six-figure income here and you're only picking up part of the commission. You know, so you're either a master's member or you're working for one to some degree. Okay, but now here's the other thing. Last thing, and this I cannot stress enough, because we've done a lot of talking here, and I appreciate you investing some time with me today, because I know there was probably something on the television that you could have been watching, but you chose to come and hang out with me for a few minutes. So let me share this with you real quick. This is the simplest, the fastest, and the safest business that I have ever seen. I've been in this industry 20 years or more now. I've done everything from vitamins and weight loss and, you know, the legal thing and the prescription cards. I mean, I've done a little bit of everything, and I've made money. I made lots of money before I ever came to Empower Network, and I lost a lot of money before I came to Empower Network. Matter of fact, when I joined Empower Network, I was coming out of this huge slump, which is a story some of you guys may have heard me tell it at a live event, or it's on YouTube if you want to find it, I think. But anyway, when we came here, you know, we were sort of rebuilding. After having made money and lost it, we were sort of rebuilding. And I'll tell you what, this has been the most rewarding experience. Not just because of the money. The money's been fantastic. But I'll tell you why Empower Network's growing the way it is because, and this might apply to you too. So let me just kind of get really real with you for a second. I know what it's like to be broke. And I don't mean that I don't mean this in some weird, you know, rags to riches. I'm talking about, I know what it's like to be in Toys R Us and your little boy, you know, shows you, you know, a Star Wars character or something and says, you know, hey, look, Dad, you know, look at this cool Star Wars guy. And you look at your son and you say, well, that's neat, hon. You know, that's really cool. You know, maybe we'll get that for you for Christmas. You know, I've been that dad, you know. And the truth was, it wasn't that it was a good idea or it was close to Christmas. The truth was I didn't have the $7.95 to buy it, you know. I got tired of being the dad that had to say no all the time. And I know what it's like to come home and have an eviction notice on my door. You know, I've been there. I've had no heat in the house. And I'm not saying these things for any reason except to just make a larger point. It doesn't matter if you're here because you make a lot of money but you don't have time, or because you're dead broke and you're trying to get up on your feet. It doesn't matter. We all came here for a reason. We have people in Empower Network that came here and they already make a multiple six-figure income. But the problem is they're working 80 hours a week. Their kids are asleep when they leave in the morning, and their kids are asleep in bed when they get home at night. They don't have a life. They got a great income, but they don't have a life. You know, so we've got people here that at some point have not had $2 to rub together, and we've had people here that joined because they had lots of time. They had lots of money but no time. But whatever the reason is why you're here, this thing changes lives. And I think if somebody asked me the other day, they said, Tony, why is it that Empower Network seems to be doing something that has never been done? Because, I mean, the growth is just staggering. The number of people getting started is just mind-boggling. It just is incredible. And I think the reason why is because a lot of people have had their asses kicked in this industry, and they've had their asses kicked in this economy. And yet they go to that presentation page of David Woods and they see somebody who's just willing to be real. I think people are starved for authenticity. They're tired of, you know, perfect looking people with perfect kinds of stories, and everything's just perfect and photoshopped and run through the studio to make everything look all pretty and fancy, and it's like everything's just too plastic, if that makes sense. And then they find out about Empower Network, and they realize that we're just a bunch of real people. You know, some of us are screw ups. Some of us, you know, like my daddy was a pig farmer before he became a preacher. My mom worked at Eveready Battery. You know, I didn't have money for braces, didn't have money to go to college, none of that, you know. So, I mean, nobody in my family's ever made probably more than $20,000 or $30,000 in a year. And when we launched the Master's Program product, I made that in 1 hour. I made $47,000 in a single day. Most of it happened within about 20 minutes. So, but here's why I think people are having their lives changed, is because they have had their butts kicked, and they see that we're just real people from all walks of life. We've got whites and blacks and Catholics and Protestants and gays and straights, and we've got everything in between, and we're just real people. It doesn't matter, you know. The only thing that we just have a like-minded community of people who are sick and tired of not living the life they deserve, and they want to do whatever it takes to once and for all just get this money thing figured out, you know. And they're willing, when they see how real things are and they see the results that people are getting, people like me, people like you, all of a sudden they're willing to reach up in the closet one more time and pull down that box of dreams and dust it off a little bit and open it up and think, you know, maybe I could get into a nice house. Because once upon a time they believed they were going to have a nice house, you know. And they tried and they failed, and they tried and they failed, and they joined that thing and it didn't work, and then somebody laughed at them or whatever. You know, we've all got a sad story. We can all sit around and talk about what didn't work. But one more time, they were willing to reach up in the closet and pull down those dreams and dust them off and say, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And they come here, and you know what, that first $25 sale, I swear, the emotional payoff that people get out of making their first 25 bucks, I swear, for some people, it's like they've won the lottery. I had one lady who called, she hadn't even made a sale yet. I had one lady who called me up in tears saying, Tony, I don't understand this. I have struggled for years in this industry, and I've never been able to generate even one lead. I've never even been able to get one person to fill out a form on the website requesting information about my business. And I have over 100 leads in the last 24 hours by using the traffic recommendations that I gave her and using this marketing system. I've had people call me up in tears because they made their first $100. Because you know what that $100 really is? It's not actually $100. It's vindication. It buys back all that belief that they gave up. You know, it buys back all that emotion of when they said, you know what, maybe I'm not cut out to be a home-based business entrepreneur. Maybe I don't have what it takes. It's a little bit of a rubbing in the rub the nose in of all the people who said, oh, can't believe you joined one of those things, you know, or the people that laughed at you when you joined something in the past. Whether it worked or didn't work is irrelevant. But all of a sudden you make that first $25 sale or that first $100 sale, and all of a sudden it's like, yes, it is real. I just didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle at the same time, and now I do. Because I'm in Empower Network, I've got the traffic, I got the system that converts traffic to sales, and I've got a system that upgrades the sales into repeat customers of other products. And if you've got that, you can write any check you want to write. So I'm excited for you guys, I really am. And hopefully, you know, you see a little bit of my heart there. I love to see you guys win. I love to see people have their first $100 day, their first $500 day. When you have your first $1,000 day, your whole world opens up, because there are places you can go, there's things you can do in your life that you cannot see from where you're standing until you get to the point where making money daily is just a habit. It's like, I mean, I know now that, I mean, I make at least $2,000 every day. And it feels weird for me to say that. Does it feel weird to hear it? Because it feels weird for me to say it a little bit. But I mean, I have days where I make $6,000 in a day, you know, but I can't remember the last time that I made less than a couple thousand. And you know what? I'm still just a regular guy, you know. I had a $5 plate of barbecue before doing this webinar, you know, leftovers, you know. So this is just about being authentic and real. So you'll hear people in our community on the conference call that, you know, drop a cuss word because that's just how they talk. And you'll hear people that are, you know, thanking the Lord Jesus Christ for the success they have. You know, you'll meet people at our events that are just like you, and you'll meet people at our events that are completely, you'd think, man, they're from another planet. But the one commonality that we all have is that we're just a bunch of real people who got tired of the BS and the nonsense and just decided, let's get this money thing figured out and quit Mickey Mousing around with this stupid 3 to 5 year plan. And let's get it done in 3 to 5 weeks. Let's get it done in 3 to 5 months. You know, let's start making $1,000 a day in the next 90 days. And the way you do that is by using the system that I've laid out for you tonight. So, welcome to the Extreme Team. We're happy to have you. If you haven't found out already, we've got this private Facebook group. We've got a team training site. Every event the Empower Network does, the Extreme Team is there in force. And we usually have our own things that we're doing. We usually have a private dinner or some kind of event within the larger Empower Network event. You know, make sure you come to the events. We want to meet you. We want to shake your hand, hug your neck, look you in the eye, you know. So make sure that you are committed to doing the 5 things that we talked about earlier. And go get some traffic right now. Get your e-wallet set up. Get your Aweber account set up. There's instructions for all that in the team training site. And then go get some traffic, pour it on your funnel, and just watch the money flow. It is the coolest thing. You're going to wonder, and I'll close with this, when you actually start doing what we're teaching you to do, you're going to look back and think, why did I ever believe that making money was hard? Why did I ever think that making money was difficult, or that it was time consuming, or that I had to grind, you know, I had to go talk to, you know, 100 people a day on the phone, or I had to drive across town, whatever. You are gonna look back at this decision as being one of the most powerful decisions you've ever made in your finances. And I just can't wait to see your story. I'm very thankful to, hopefully, I get to be a little footnote in your story. I get to be some guy that you ran across in your search, and maybe I said something, or maybe you saw something in our leadership or the other leaders here in the Extreme Team. We just want to be a little footnote in your story so that when you're looking back 90 days, 6 months, a year, 5, 10 years from now, you can look back like I do. You know, I have mentors from 10 years ago that I look back and I say, man, I sure am glad I ran across Nick when I did, you know, or Val. People that made a difference in my life, and the information that I got from them is still paying dividends today. You know, so that's what we want to be for you. So anyway, thanks for coming to the webinar today. I hope it was of value. I hope you got tons of notes. If you have any questions, then certainly pop over to our Facebook group and ask any questions that you want. We're here to help you, and we'll see you guys on the training calls. So thanks for being here today. Have an awesome day. You absolutely deserve it.